Hi, I'm Paulina and I study English with Outcomes Advanced. Welcome aboard. Today, I hope we finish Unit 3, Culture and Identity. And to sum it all up, of course, we're going to do some exercises as usual today on vocabulary. So we'll first check a home task, vocabulary builder. Then we'll proceed to listening part, speaking part, and finally we'll see if we are capable of doing the last speaking part in here, or we'll leave it to do at home, okay? So, but before I want to rumble a bit, because otherwise, why on earth am I learning and am I studying in general, right? It's all about speaking in my case. So actually, so many things to discuss. Okay, let me just speak, okay? So I've been to my friend recently. I visited her on Friday or on just last Thursday. I don't remember exactly. I think it was Thursday. So anyway, it does not matter actually. So this friend of mine is that kind of person who is totally different from me. So she has everything. She has had everything in her life on time. No big mistakes. I mean, no great emotional. Say when it no declines. Yeah, declines, halts. Yeah, halts. That is the word I was seeking for. So no great emotional halts or declines, or everything is like stable all the time. In comparison to me, so I'm a person of I don't know. So my life is like this all the time, and I'm satisfied with that. And when we meet, but this is a friend of mine, I mean, from my childhood. We first met in the 6th grade when I came to the school, when I attended her school. So we've been friends since that time. And in the past, we had everything, we had a lot in common, much for common ground, yeah. So these were sport activities like badminton. We played badminton. We also had one company of friends. We met often, obviously, and so on and so forth. But then something happened. I think my marriage came, and her as well. But hers turned out to be like strong enough to stand all the different difficulties. Mine wasn't. Mine didn't. So no, wasn't. Yeah. So from that time, our lives were separated by circumstances and things that happened at that time. Especially when I got addicted, she just she cut all the all the connections with me, knowing nothing at the time, but still maybe she felt something. So she's a kind of person. She's a sort of person who not sort of, can people be a sort of, okay, never mind. She's a kind of a person that will just forget about everything connected to a person if he or she's not how to say handy. No, not handy. Not okay, not convenient, not comfortable. I don't know. Not on the same page with her, which is obviously logical, yeah, from some points of view, from hers at least, yeah. So, but after that, I recovered. I grew up strong again, and I stood from my knees and everything. Considering this topic, I mean, you see, but and I wanted to share my experience with her and just to keep up all the things that catch up with her, yeah, and keep up like everything that I lost and so and so on. So we met, and we met several times. Like I came to her like every month or something. We talked a lot, and it seems to me that everything was okay. But then, but you know, all the time, when I was about to come over to her, yeah, something happened, like something strange happened. For example, taxi was extremely expensive, or the car broke, or it was heavy rain, or I don't know, my laces tore. Some things happen all the time, like the tram broke, I remember, or a lot of things happen, strange all the time. And I felt like I felt like I was doing something that broke my nature, my inner voice. So as if I didn't listen to it, didn't listen to my gut, you see? So straight though, and I continued doing that. I continued coming and feeling so bad afterwards, because now I'm coming to the point. So every time I meet her, the fact that we are totally different people, we've become totally different people, totally different individualities with totally different, entirely different views on life, approaches to life, lifestyles, life beliefs, and everything considering topics that should be common if you are friends, right? And if they are different, you just obviously can't. Yeah, apparently you can't be friends. But they continue trying anyway. So last time, that Thursday, I came over her to her, yeah. Okay, I came to visit her. And as usual, I took like 3 bottles of beer with me, but it was so uncomfortable and inconvenient for me to just I rode a scooter, and can you imagine, so these 3 bottles of beer were in the back, in the packets, thank you, sorry. And I put it on a oh, I forgot how this is called, pin, no, just a sec, uh, hook, yeah, hook, peg, hook, peg, never mind. So so this is a scooter, and there is a peg for your bags there, and I put it there. And when I was riding, something happened so that the packet just tore in the bottom, and one of the bottles like fell off the floor, and like, and my heart started beating again as usual when I come to her, like before I come to her, and my inner voice, my gut told me again, what are you doing? Just stop, come home, drink your beer alone, not with her. I didn't listen again. So I just I tied the pack and continued my way. Then I took the tram. With all that bags, I went to a supermarket. So it was so uncomfortable, inconvenient as never, you see. Uh, we had not a great time, I can say, just because, you know, she's a type of people, she's a kind of people, she's such a person that disturbs you. By what, you will ask me? By saying what you could do, what she could do in my shoes, if she were in my shoes, you know. So it's not, you know, it's, she's not straight, but she says, why don't you do this, why don't you do that, I think it's better too, blah blah blah. And it's so tiring, you know. Absolutely not not my cup of tea. And I was very polite. I didn't comment on this shit. But afterwards, it took me 3 days, I think, to recover and to come to a conclusion finally that this person is not just mine. And it's not the done thing to talk to her. It's not the done thing to have her in my life anymore. No, just a sec. I forgot. I don't know. Okay. No matter. Sorry. No matter how much past we have, there is nothing in here in the present, nor in the future. So, and I'm very grateful for her and for this lesson because I've been passing through this lesson for, I don't know, I think for all my life. It's one of the this is one of the most deeply rooted things in me, and I don't know how to describe it more precisely because I can't say for sure like this is that. I can't give it a name what this feeling is or what this actions are for what exactly, like one word. No, I can't for now, but I have already made this decision not to communicate with her anymore. Okay, thing this is what I wanted to share actually with you, and this is what makes sense in learning English, by the way, is being able to speak and to express explicitly or implicitly, never, it doesn't matter, my feelings and my everything that happened to me. Though I know the level of my speaking is still intermediate, not more. I see, I can hear myself, but anyway. Okay, so for today we had vocabulary builder, if I'm not mistaken, right? Revise vocab plus vocabulary builder. Yeah. I didn't do vocabulary builder exercises from the workbook, but I did them in the vocabulary builder itself. So let's go through these things with me, or you can pause the recording and check it all. Yeah, conform to, outlook on, relate to, revolve around, leave on, scope off something, and cleans to the memory. And sorry, interesting thing about this vocabulary builder working with, I mean, it's so amazing that when I work with vocabulary builder, I go through the list of words, through all the lines, almost. I read almost everything. And everything that I take from this, which I find, everything that I find most interesting and catching or unknown, I write it down, and all the time, even though if it's not in bold or it's not in italics, it does not matter. So I take everything that I just find interesting, and all the time when I do exercises afterwards, it helps me. So just an interesting fact. Not notification fact. Word families: commercial, diversity, autonomous, ripped, puzzling, disgusting. I was surprised, astonished by this fact that disgusting, disgusted, no, disgustedly. There is a difference. Nice one. Verbs, both nouns here. You can see everything, right? You can just pause the recording and check yourself. All right. Also, I will attach the screenshot of this to Notion, and you will be happy with that there. Okay. Next thing we're gonna do today. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you again. I'm sorry for that, really. I forgot to tell you that. Can you see? It's like purple tea, which is actually blue tea. It's Thai tea, anchan it's called. And I was so shocked, so that I posted on Gram in my stories section, and like 100% of people there. I was so astonished. I put a video there, like, wow, a blue tea, it's really blue, and so on. Like 100% of people responded that you put a lemon on this, a slice of lemon there, you will be even more surprised. Or like, it's better to drink it with ginger or something. So 100% of people there knew, knew or had known about this tea, and no one has ever told me. What's wrong with you guys? Okay, now I drink this tea. And by the way, if you add yellow lemon to this blue tea, it does not come green. It comes purple. Wonderful, really wonderful, well and truly wonderful. Sorry, again, coming back to our things. Listening. So listen to part of a lecture about an entity. Summarize the main message in a sentence. Part of a lecture about identity. Summarize the main message. Okay, let's do it.
Track 10.
As you're no doubt all aware, we live in troubled times. And one reaction to global uncertainty has always been to cling on to this idea of a unified national culture. A culture that everyone living in a particular land shares and participates in. It's an idea that many find very comforting. Sadly, though, I'm afraid it's also something of a myth. The reality is that identity is a very personal thing, and the individual cultural identities of people living in pretty much any society that you care to name vary so much that it's basically impossible to define common features. And of course, our identities aren't fixed or static. They change over time as a result of our interactions. And in an increasingly globalized world, a world that's driven by commerce, our interactions are becoming more and more complex and multi-layered. We could easily find ourselves eating a breakfast that's been manufactured by a Swiss company, while watching a French TV show we recorded last night on our Korean-made TV. We might then put on a Chinese-produced t-shirt, some American-made jeans, and some Italian shoes, before getting into a German-made car to drive to work. I should know. That's exactly what I did this morning. If our habits as consumers complicate our ideas about what it means to belong to a national culture, then so too do our relationships with others. As we get older, we often grow into the many distinct roles we play in life. These different roles often exist independently of each other, and when playing a particular role, we sometimes end up only interacting with those directly affected by whatever the role is. This is why it's quite possible for one person to be, for instance, a mother, a wife, a ballet lover, Welsh, British, Jamaican, black, and a marketing manager without any contradiction. At the same time, though, we also need to realize that for some people these different roles can cause terrible tensions and can result in individuals abandoning certain roles as they feel they're no longer compatible with the main ways in which they have come to see themselves. I'm sure you can all think of examples of this kind of thing from your own experience of the world. So where does all of this leave national identity? The historian Eric Hobsbawm has argued that many of the ideas about national cultures that are spread through the education system, through the media, and through public ceremonies and monuments are basically a form of myth-making. And it's the ruling elite who encourage these stories, and, of course, who benefit.
Okay. Well, in once telling the message in a sentence, I think that here it's that national identity is a myth. It's not real. It does not exist because of many factors, right? I can't check this if I don't go to the teacher's book. So Well, no, listen. Culture and identity is to do with your individual experiences and roles and national cultures as far as they exist. They are simply an invention of those in power. But this actually was the last idea. I mean, in the last sentence, it's to do with your individual experiences. And yeah, okay. But if we generalize it more, what the main message is, I think I answered better. That national identity is a myth due to several factors. What do you think of this? Do you agree with me, or you relate to the book's opinion more? So let me know, okay? Work in place, compare your ideas. So okay, let's work together. Let's discuss how far you agree with this message. I can discuss only the one that they have here. So yes, culture and identity is to do with your individual experiences and roles. Yes, national cultures and invention of those in power. Last time we met, there was a question also, like describe your national identity things, or like specialties, not peculiarities of your culture. And I couldn't come up with any, just because I don't believe that national identity exists, as well as the authorities lecturer. Because yes, I agree to, not even to some extent, I entirely agree that we all are individuals and we all have remarkable and experiences that can't be replicated. Unique experiences. So can we just add one experience to another and get what national identity is in the end? I don't think so, because some consists of, okay, no, I don't know, but I agree with the lecturer, really. So it does not exist in the way that is presented throughout the world. And I think I partially agree, just because I didn't think about it deeper, sorry. I didn't think about it deeper. That cultural identity and this nationality, peculiarities, specialty, assumptions, all these assumptions, overgeneralizations, preconceptions, they all are created, maybe not by the powers, but the people. What do we invent preconceptions of? What for do we invent them? What for do people want to be like outstanding, to be unique, to feel themselves more important than others, right? Or better, at least, because we all are contestants in the poll. Okay, competition everywhere. This is the root cause, or what? Okay, I'm so puzzled. Because I think these are people who create this. Russians are famous for their straightness. Okay. So the root cause is that for example, we travel. Yeah, we see different people of different nations, cultures, and everything, and we unavoidably, a sec, inevitably, we inevitably compare ourselves to the people around and make some conclusions. We pay special attention to the features that differ from others, from us. Yeah, yeah. This is why preconceptions and overgeneralizations come from, right? And the most popular ones, which were common through with the largest group of people. For example, the majority of Russians who traveled abroad noticed that Turkish men are very hot, and so this is how the preconception, like, comes to life, right? Oh, it wasn't the question. I'm so sorry. I just want to think today. Okay, so now we're going to listen to it again. Why was each of the following mentioned? Global uncertainty. Let me think of it before I listen to it again, because I remember something. So global uncertainty, the lecturer told us that we live in a problems world or something like that, especially a global uncertainty, something like this. Commerce, I don't remember, a French TV show and a German car. So the fact that people play different roles and it's so difficult to correlate to or with this or that identity, because one person can turn on a French TV show, then have breakfast of Chinese food, then sit in a German car, come to its American parking lot, I don't know, and so on. A belly lover and the marketing man. So yeah, people can juggle different roles and be a belly lover, mom, wife, a marketing manager, all at the same time, and without even confusing, without any discomfort. Terrible tensions. I remember this, but terrible tensions. No, the ruling elite. So these are people who create all these cultural identity things for people. Let's listen to it again.
Track 10.
As you're no doubt all aware, we live in troubled times. And one reaction to global uncertainty has always been to cling on to this idea of a unified national culture. A culture that everyone living in a particular land shares and participates in. It's an idea that many find very comforting. Sadly, though, I'm afraid it's also something of a myth. The reality is that identity is a very personal thing, and the individual cultural identities of people living in pretty much any society that you care to name vary so much that it's basically impossible to define common features. And of course, our identities aren't fixed or static. They change over time as a result of our interactions. And in an increasingly globalized world, a world that's driven by commerce, our interactions are becoming more and more complex and multi-layered. We can easily find ourselves eating a breakfast that's been manufactured by a Swiss company, while watching a French TV show we recorded last night on our Korean-made TV. We might then put on a Chinese-produced t-shirt, some American-made jeans, and some Italian shoes before getting into a German-made car to drive to work. I should know. That's exactly what I did this morning. If our habits as consumers complicate our ideas about what it means to belong to a national culture, then so too do our relationships with others. As we get older, we often grow into the many distinct roles we play in life. These different roles often exist independently of each other, and when playing a particular role, we sometimes end up only interacting with those directly affected by whatever the role is. This is why it's quite possible for one person to be, for instance, a mother, a wife, a ballet lover, Welsh, British, Jamaican, black, and a marketing manager without any contradiction. At the same time, though, we also need to realize that for some people these different roles can cause terrible tensions and can result in individuals abandoning certain roles as they feel they're no longer compatible with the main ways in which they have come to see themselves. I'm sure you can all think of examples of this kind of thing from your own experience of the world. So where does all of this leave national identity? The historian Eric Hobsbawm has argued that many of the ideas about national cultures that are spread through the education system, through the media, and through public ceremonies and monuments are basically a form of myth-making. And it's the ruling elite who encourage these stories, and, of course, who benefit.
Okay, so I won't comment this one as well as this one because I've already done it. So global uncertainty that we live in trouble. Again, I forgot it again, trouble word or something. So the only reaction is to cling on to a unified culture. We live in this global uncertainty, yeah. Commerce, not commerce. Why? Because, I've checked this today. Commerce. World is driven by commerce nowadays. This was the context. Terrible tension. So people struggle with their roles, especially because they are so various. They vary so much that people just experience these terrible tensions to how they see themselves in this world. And the ruling elite, actually, I have already also commented on this. So everything considering this topic, cultural identity, is spread through education, media, blah blah blah. And this is the ruling elite who benefits from this and encourages these stories. Okay, so the last thing here, would agree with blah blah blah. But we won't do it today. I think we can do it at home just to be ready for the next lesson. I'll attach this exercise 12 and maybe 13, or we'll skip 13. I don't know yet, but now it's time to stop, just, So, again, at home, we do vocabulary build exercises in workbook first, and then exercise 12 and maybe 13 to just to get ready to speak, so that speaking will be a warming up exercise next time before we come to the next unit, okay, which is properties. Okay, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to my wonderful story. One more thing. Have a nice day as usual, and see you. Take care. Bye bye.